I can feel this moon. It's really I'm not fond of a moon in Scorpio. Some people are. I mean, this moon is really gonna get you to really look at things in some big ways. So, welcome. I'm a sea of color today. I have my turquoise, orange, purple, pink kind of going on here. Um, and just sort of cuddling in. It's only, I think, -4, -5 or something outside. I don't know, it's something minus, but it still feels cold. It's nippy, and, I don't want nippy because 'cause I'm feeling nippy. I don't want nippy. Feeling kind of out of sorts today. I have to admit. Um, it's that and it's one of the things. The moon in Scorpio, even though I'm a Scorpio, I'm a Sun Scorpio, I'm not a Moon Scorpio. I don't and if anybody's watched me for a long time, I'm not fond of a person with a Sun, Moon in Scorpio, really. I find them somewhat dishonest and scrupulous, unscrupulous. That's it, unscrupulous. That's been my experience with them, with people with that, with that alignment in their chart. Different people will find different things. Some people that follow me, um, I know they have a hard time with Capricorn people, and I've had really bad experiences with Capricorn and the energies of people with Capricorn. Um, and it's funny. It's you it because I guess because of your placement within your chart and everything, how you might be feeling with others. Leos are pretty good, but sometimes I with Leos, I find that they can be very egotistical. They have a little bit of an ego, especially those with a very powerful placement with ego, with Leo, can have that sort of, I guess, I guess it might be a fire sign. They can have a lot of passion, and so they come with you passionately, and they don't really mean things what they ask, but they can come really harsh passionately. And I know that with my dad, very passionate, but can say things, and then people can take really offense, but they're just coming, and it's not like how an air sign comes at you. An air sign can come at you, and like sometimes when my daughter says things, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, really? You just and even my sons, except Libra. Libra's different. Libra has a little bit more emotion to them than Gemini and Aquarius, because they're just like blum. But Aquarius, Libras can come too. They can be very, once they're done with something, once they're finished with it, whomever, whatever, they're done. You know, Earth signs, it's like a touch and go, because earth signs can be a little bit moody. I find the moodiness with earth signs, for me personally, and it's like, get off the fucking pot. Just get moving, just do something. Um, I mean, Virgos, yes, they can organize me and stuff, but if you tweak them a wrong way, or if you say things the wrong way and they don't like it, they can get extremely moody about it. Um, Capricorns, I understand, because they can be feeling like, they're know-it-alls. They're not ones to really reach out a lot of times for, readings, because they like things structured until their life starts falling the fuck apart and things aren't going their way. Then they really want to know what the hell's going on, and then they reach out for a reading. So it's quite interesting. And so so this energy with, the moon, and plus there's some weird aspects to the South Node in Libra too that are coming in. It's just feeling a little bit off. And and then I'm looking at everything that's going on. I'm just like wanting to go outside and just scream my head off and say, "What the fuck, everybody? Wake the fuck up. What's going on? Why aren't you paying attention? Why is everybody going around la 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 like like they don't give a shit?" And it's like one of those things. It's like, trying to warn people or tell people what's unfolding is one thing, but still seeing the repercussions of some of the shit that's going on is just like, my god, oh my god. It's almost where Like, you're seeing these squatters in the States and stuff coming in and just squatting in your place and how much it costs for landlords to get the people out. Um, I cannot, sometimes there's, ones that just sort of plop themselves there for because they feel they have the right is just unbelievable. It's just like, holy shit. Um, as as a friend once told me who worked in the police force, he goes, "A lot of times you don't know what happens down a dark alley." And I'm just like, "Oh, interesting." And and it's just, it's just like you're seeing sometimes it's like, okay, taking taking that responsibility or starting to take the responsibility. I'm not saying to cause harm upon somebody else, but I'm just saying it's time to really take the responsibility of shit in our hands. Right now, like some things, yes, are out of our hands, but what can we take responsible for our own selves? Because it's very there's a lot of aggravation that's out there, and we want to transform that in a positive way. That's why this morning I went out and there was the moon and the sun and it looked so beautiful, and I really wanted to bring positive energy for people. And it's where, and plus Lilith is coming up and she's nosing up to the south node in Libra, Black Moon Lilith. And that's a whole nother that's a whole nother energy in itself of realizing, of stepping into, of looking at what is it that you want to create and what is really has value in your life. And are you willing to step out and step away from what somebody's telling you is in your best interest, and even though you know it's not in your best interest, but you're still going along with it. And I think that's with Black Moon Lilith coming in with the South Node, really getting into the nitty-gritty of, okay, what is that hurt? What is that pain? Are you allowing it to heal? Or are you just keep on taking off the bandage and um just picking at it kind of thing? Or are you really allowing that what needs to get healed? And I feel like there's just so much happening in and around in everybody's life that it's where difficult to allow for things to heal or difficult to allow for things to go. And it's I just like there's scenarios out there that are happening that I feel like it's hard for me to voice them and to people because they're not they're not nice, right? So I've been having a few readings lately with people, and they're asking me, well, and I'm looking at their chart and things, and I'm just like, holy, well, you're going to be going through some big transformations in your life, and you really have to take the responsibility for them. And they may not go exactly the way you want them to go, or you're not going to get what it is that you want. And then they get mad and angry at me, and I'm just like, I I can't change it, right? It's just like when I look at my own chart, I said, "There's shit happening in my own." I can't change it, but what I can do is I can take responsibility for it. I can take on and say, "Okay, what can I surrender?" And take a look at and say, "Okay, this is it. This is what I'm surrendering to," and accepting what it is, accepting what's happening. And that's the same way with looking at what's going on. I mean, we got to really take things in a very spiritual sense and come into a real spiritual energy with all that's happening from the Baltimore bridge falling down. I think they can make a little nursery rhyme. Baltimore bridge is falling down, falling. Anyways, maybe it's too soon for that. Um, to the craziness that's happening in the UK, to the craziness that's happening in Ottawa, and you know with as much pressure that they're trying to make on the PM with everything, to the pressures of having to go grocery shopping and looking at, holy crap, I only have $150 to spend, but everything that's in my cart is $250. So what can I what do I leave on the shelf and what do I take with me, right? So there's all of this, that's the pressuring that's coming down upon people to, in the back of our minds about World War III, to, you know, finding out that they turned on the bloody CERN particle shit to see what's, on, no, on April 8th, to see what kind of more comets and tribulations can we add to this world. And it's just allowing for things to feel very weird and out of sorts, and wanting to go in the backyard or into the car or go somewhere in the middle of the forest and just scream your fucking head off, because it's like, what the fuck? What else can happen? And this is where it's like, really, okay, not everything I have control over. As much as I'd love to have control over the whole, parliament thing, to having, you know, control over other parliaments or other governments and stuff to make change. Like, I can't. I can only write my MP, I can only voice my opinion at this time, and lift it up to the Holy Spirit and do what I can do, right? And take the responsibility I can within my own realm. And that's where we're at. I mean, even for myself, at turning the lovely age I'm turning, and even though I do have my business that I do, but my business doesn't suffice what it is that I need to to buy the groceries that I need to buy, right? It doesn't suffice on that. And that's the whole thing, is even with, you know, whatever pension, I don't even get a pension. Um, Working 2 days a week, and knowing that that job's gonna end at the end of June, and that's not gonna give me enough to re-kick in my EI kind of thing. So this is like, okay, these are sort of my crazy concerns, but I don't want to victimize myself. I'm like, okay, what can I do? What is it that I'm able to, I see it, I'm surrendering it, now I'm accepting it. Now I have to take some action and following my intuition with the action that needs to be taken. And sometimes the intuition that comes in and the actions that you have to take may not align with what you think you should. And this is also with all of, with a lot of the frequencies that are coming in right now. It's like also saying, it's like, don't just make major changes right now. And especially with Mercury going retrograde, this is a time of saying, okay, you know what, this is, starting to make the plans and act on some small points of the plans, but not acting on the big, sort of like, let's go in there and just make full changes into everything. That's not where it's at, because it's just going to really fuck things up for you. And you're just going to be feeling very, even more out of sorts. And, we have some really weird with those weird aspects with the South Node, which gets us stuck in our old stuff, in our own ideas, and our own belief systems, and feeling like a movie, and not sure what you've seen, or what's the next scene. So it's like a weird ass movie that's going on, that's happening. I posted yesterday, kind of jokingly, some of the some of the pointers of what we have seen, that's happening. There's a lot more, of course, in the world that's going on, that is just like fucking mind boggling, that you're just like, how did that happen? How could they allow for shit like that to happen, right? Um, and open up. And this is where it's like, a lot of things this week is going to be bubbling up. And as it's bubbling up, we got to allow it. We got to allow those feelings and all of that craziness to come out, in order for us to in order for us to really start to heal, with how we are wanting to take the next steps in our lives, and not beating ourselves or rehashing, because, with Mercury retrograde, we want to rehash, relook, review, redo, ba bum, ba bum, ba bum. But sometimes it can get to a point where it's like, no, I just need to heal. I need to allow for the healing to happen. I need to change the bandages when I need to change the bandages. If it needs to be lanced, I need to lance whatever needs to be lanced and allow it to go in order for the healings to really start to happen. And as I'm allowing for those healings to happen within me, remember whatever's going on the outside or on the inside is happening on the outside. You're allowing for something else to heal. Steve and I did something last night that we haven't done in months, maybe a year and a half, for a long time. Or like we're not one to go out and eat very often. Here, go out and eat. We're not. We don't do much. We're a very boring couple. So to go out and eat or go out, because we decided to take a drive last night, and I was going to film it, but then I'm horrible at this. I didn't. We went down one of the major sort of streets, avenues here in Calgary, and noticing how many businesses were closed. And then out of all of those businesses were closed, all of these brand new buildings that are being constructed, high rises that are being constructed on a road that I know they have dug up, I don't know how many times in Calgary, and then filled it up and then dug it up and filled it up, and for, changing pipes and all that kind of stuff and rerouting traffic. And so here's a street that's been dug up and everything else. These high rises are being built, like, and they're not like 10-story high rises. We're talking about 30 floors or more, being built here in Calgary. And all because, we need housing, which is true, but these ones that are being built, trust me, they're not low income housing, and the rent's not going to be, cheap, put it that way, especially when you're getting close to the Stampede grounds. You're sort of you're in the middle, you're in a part of the city that is sort of inner city kind of trendy kind of way, right? So you have this growth that's going on, but yet you're seeing all of these businesses close down. So I'm not sure how all of that's going to work. Like I'm not the mayor because our mayor is really fucked, or a city council member. Like I'm like, "Okay, how is this gonna work? This doesn't make sense to me." You know? It doesn't make sense to me how they're building all of this in this and our infrastructure, and they're having problems in looking at to update our infrastructure, and our infrastructure needs to be updated, and our water system and our sewage system and our roads. Our roads are, I've seen more potholes this year than I've ever seen in Calgary. Calgary's not really they're usually really good with the roads, so it's kind of nutty. So anyways, going on my little tangent here of the spirituality, it's just like there's so much going on that the valve that's holding things on, the valve that is there is it's going to burst, and we can see it. It's like the steam is coming out, and it's slowly, and we're just sort of waiting for everything to bubble over so that maybe then we can sort of start just like, okay, here we go. But going back to the energies today, and with that moon in Scorpio, it is going to cause people to be feeling very reactive. It's going to cause people to feel very bitchy. And because it is Scorpio, it's that going into that's the moon, and the moon's not happy in Scorpio, right? It's in its detriment. It's just like I can't shine. I can't do what I feel I need to do. I can't be exalted. I can't allow myself to open up to the way I need to open up within my own selves and my own recesses of who I am. And and so it's there. So you're going to see a lot of people angry or feeling kind of bitchy or on edge, and nitpicky. I know my Libra son was telling me that before the lunar eclipse of how crabby and bitchy he was. I was fine through it. And now I'm feeling, as we're getting closer to this new moon is just going to be just for me personally, and this is where you really look into how you're reacting to things and how you're feeling about things, is like it's like, ooh, this is like really going to make me have to really come into my spiritual self, so I'm not so um crabby, I guess you'll say. And it's like almost like it's like being that person like, well, you should fucking know this. Why are you fucking asking me? Kind of thing, you know? And that's the part. Oh, who's Johnny Favelin? I don't know about you guys. I've been getting some weird guys wanting to befriend me on Facebook, and they're always military guys from the United States with good pictures, and you're just like, no. So today, it's like watch your projections. Okay, because we're in between eclipses right now. So you really got to watch how you're projecting things. You got to really watch how you are putting things out there, because this could be that it could be very you could just like be throwing a bunch of stuff out there that you don't want to be throwing out. So this is like really being conscious of how you are reacting to the stuff that's happening, and to what's going on in the world. And even though you may not watch the news, or you may not watch whatever, but you'll feel the energies, you'll feel the craziness, the unsettledness, the unscrupulous of it all, right? You'll feel that. And this is where it's like, in feeling that, this is where it's like really, we want to be continually going forward and building and going forward, but it might feel a little wobbly. We're still in a lot of wobbleness, having issues again on here. I'm not sure, because I'm not getting any issues on my end. Like, I'm just saying, for Instagram, I'm not getting. And I looked over the video from yesterday, and it seemed fine. So I have no idea. I don't understand. So you could pop over, Shar, over to YouTube, right? Because Lexi's fine, Erica's fine, and it seems other people are fine on the Facebook and stuff as well. So I'm not sure what it could be. So I don't know. Maybe you got to stand with the antenna in your hand like the old days. Oh, hold on, hang on, hey, oh, don't move. Okay. So I mean, it's just a craziness that's going on. Um, yeah, so the class for Mercury retrograde is full, and I sent out an email yesterday to everybody with the link. So just an FYI, so the information is there, information on where to get your chart and how to get your chart is on there as well. I will, if anybody wants to get their chart here, let's do a little lesson. Let's do a lesson. I use astro.com. That's my go-to place. Hang on. There we go. Hang on. There we go. Log in. Okay, let's go. There we go. Turn you guys around. And I'm going to share this. So if anybody is wanting to get their share screen. There we go. Okay. So this is what you should see up here. So when you go on to, you can make an account. The account is free to make your account. I have a paid account because I have a lot of people on here. So I have no idea what that means, Shar, but maybe, I don't know. Does that mean you have to change it? I have no idea. So here it says free horoscope. So this is on here, and you go down, and I always go to extended chart selection. So you go down to the extended chart selection, and you'll come up to a page like this. Now, usually what you'll have is that if I wanted to add, let's say I want to add somebody new. So I'm going to go in here. This is what will pop up if you have not already done your chart in here. So you're going to have put your name in here. So we can put Joe. And we're going to do Joe Smith. And Joe Smith is a male. And he was born the 23rd. And we're going to put April. And we're going to put 1970. I don't know. I'm just choosing a date. And then if you know the time, which would be great, he was born at, let's say, I got 9:01. Right? And where was he born in the world? I put the world. I just leave it there, and I'm going to put London. And then all of this will come up, London, and there's maybe, let's do London, UK. So he's born in London, UK. So then when you see, what will happen is that you'll have all of these things pop up. If you don't know your time of birth, you're not going to get your ascendant, or you're not going to get the proper house placement. You'll have an idea of where your what sign your stuff is in, but you won't have the accurate placement. So then we go to continue. And then you can have to choose what you want. So I would say leave it at default. Just go down a little bit and get your nodes. So you want your true nodes, the means, and descendant. Okay. We won't add anything else right now. So we're not going to add any of these guys right now. So, and then you just go to show the chart. So this is Joe Smith chart. Whew! Holy shit. Joe. Okay, poor Joe. So Joe is born, he's a Taurus, and he's got his Saturn in here, and then he has Mercury in here, he has his Venus in here, and then whoa, so he's got quite a kerfuffle happening into his 11th and 12th house. I don't use whole signs. I use Placidus. So this is what comes up is your chart. Now, we're not going to read Joe, but then what you can do if you're wanting to see with the transits of the day, you can put the transits. And on the outside, this little green on the outside is showing you where all the planets are today. And then if you just sort of click on that, it takes you just to a regular screen. This screen you can print out, and then you have it, right? So you can print this out, and then you will have your chart. So, and that's stop the share. So that gives you an idea on how to do that with astro.com. Now, the other site that I suggested for people, and I will pull it up, Cafe Astrology.com. So, oops. Let me see. You can Google Cafe Astrology. If I can type. So, why didn't it come up? Okay. Oh, it keeps on. Oh, I know why. Hang on. I got to disconnect. There we go. Go back to Cafe Astrology. So, we're going to do Cafe Astrology. And I'm going to share screen again, and we're going to go up there to Cafe Astrology. Turn you guys around. So Cafe Astrology has a whole bunch of information. This is its page. And you can go down, and it has free reports and calculations if it's your birthday, free reports and calculations is down there. Forecast coming all the way down. So a lot of information. It's a nice little site if you want to learn things, um, and find out more information about your chart and stuff. It's a lot nicer than astro.com, especially for beginners. Now, up here, so up here, there's those three. It says menu. Click on the menu. Now, down here, it has astrology reports, horoscope. Let's see what it, click that. New reports. It's been a while since I've been on this site, so bear with me. Free reports and calculations. So I put that, and send it calculator, numerology. There it is. Free birth chart wheel. That's what you want. So I clicked on the free reports and calculations. Okay. Then you scroll down, and then you go to here. It says a free birth chart. And then you get the free birth chart. So in here, and it has free birth chart. Go down here, and you want to a full free birth chart with everything. So, and you want to create a new chart. So you press create a new chart. So you put in the name. Same thing as I did before. So we're going to do Joe, and he was April 23rd, I think. There we go, April 23rd. Whoop. Gotta hate these things, eh? 1970, and I had him at 9 a.m. and 1 minute. Now, if you're unknown, you could just press the unknown, and he's a he, not a she. And then your place. So it was London and London, England. There you go. And check this box only if you like to be able to share the reports in the URL. So you can press shareable if you want. You don't have to. Okay. And then that's where we want. And then we go okay. And now here it comes up with a whole bunch of information. It does it like this. Does it draw the chart for you? It gives you a whole bunch of information on it. It used to be able to do the whole chart. Let me see. Ah, there we go. It's at the very bottom. So there's the chart. The chart's a little bit, it's in pretty colors, and you can press to enlarge this chart. And there you go. So when you press it, you can enlarge it, and then you can enlarge it even more. And if you want to, you can print this out. Okay. For the information. A little bit different than astro.com. This is Cafe Astrology. So that gives you sort of an idea of how to use either one. There's other ones too. There's other ones too that you can use. You can type in and type in Google. You can Google free natal charts, and a whole bunch of different sites will come up, and you can try those ones as well. So, and that'll give you, I mean, for anybody. The both astro.com, there's another section that you can go in, and it'll tell you a little bit more about your chart and the placement of your chart, and the, what's happening where and stuff like that, and what it means. So you can look at that as well. So both of those are really, really nice. There is different astrologers on their websites do have free charts that you can type in your information, and you can pull up your chart on that as well. So um if you're interested in looking into it even more. But for the class, for my people who are taking the class, there you go. You can go in and look at those. Those are the two sites I like. There's so many more that are out there. And it's just finding what your preference is, right? And what you like. And it's just sort of helpful. So yeah, that's the day. That's the day. It's just one of those crazy days, I gotta say. Um, I just, feel like we really have to find our happy spot right now and to go with happy spots uh in and around the day. So let's pull some cards. And I think the news and everything and the energies are just going to get crazier. Do I still get mine if you have it? What do you mean? Well, I can print up like on astro.com. I have everybody's chart who's had a reading with me, but I want you personally to do it, because if you got the email and read the email, it said that you'll need to print off a couple charts so you can work, because we're going to be working on them, right? So if you print off your charts, so you need to print off a couple of your charts. Okay, because as I said, I sent out an email with some instructions. And I will pull, in the class, definitely I'm pulling up your charts and stuff like that. So there is 5 of us that are in the class. And so we're going to be going through everybody's chart. But the cool thing is like sometimes when you're going through charts, you'll find, well, oh, I have that placement too, or I have that placement too. So it's kind of, you'll have sort of a similarity of what the frequencies are with those. So just an FYI. And it's fun to play around. And I also say, listen to different astrologers, because I do bring you some of the 411 of the astrology, but I also bring in a lot of the spiritual aspects. Some, astrologers just will give you the facts of the astrology. Pamela Gregory is really good to listen to. Kay Pacha is really good, but he's kind of, as my daughter says, he's really weird, and she doesn't like him. Leo King is really good as well. To listen to. I like he does some stuff online. But a lot of his stuff is what do I it's a subscription. You got to pay for a subscription, which I do. I pay for his subscription. Pamela Gregory there's a lot of free stuff of hers online. Same with Kay Pacha. Is a lot of free stuff of his online. There's a few others. There's some out there that I just like. They're just fucking crazy. I can't. Her last name is or something Coyote. She's so cute. She's really good. She gets into a lot of the asteroids and stuff, and doing the asteroids and the placements of the asteroids and the feminine aspect when it comes to the astrology. She's really cool. Gemini Brett is a very good astrologer as well. So there's some really fabulous astrologers that are out there. Some it's just like you go with your personality. Some of them, like not everybody's in tuned with either Kay Pacha or David, the Leo King, because he can come out. Yeah, he's egotistical. He's a double Leo. As I said, Leos are egotistical. They have huge egos. Even though if you talk to a Leo, they will say, "Oh, I don't have an ego," and you're just like, "Yeah, you do." They're not like if you go even, like when you go into like water signs, um, where they're not emotional, but they can be I'm going to say water signs can be vindictive. Cancer signs are definitely victimization, sometimes to the 10th parallel. Um, when things happen to them, or they try and they go back to something over and over again, just to, because maybe it will work, maybe, oh my god. And because there's such a rushing water of emotions, and it can just be overwhelming, where Scorpios can be just the ones that sit on the side and just sort of watch how everybody's doing, and then just see how far they can sink before they can go in and rescue them. And Pisces are just like, huh, okay, you don't want to go that, or I don't want to argue with you, but then come around and just be very vicious in some of their actions and what they do. And they can be very flip floppy when it comes to, oh, I'm not going to do that. And then turn around and go ahead and do it. And you're just like, where the fuck did that come from? So those are just generalized traits with some of the signs, you know. And when you watch, it's sort of funny. You can sort of watch, and you could see that within people, you know, and see that energy within them. So let's pull some cards. I'm using the Akashic Tarot because I want to get to use them a lot more and get to understand them. So I'm learning these cards, so you're learning them with me, okay? So we got the 4 keys. So keys are opening, so some kind of opening. But here we have the 4 keys come in, and there's a log in the way, and there's a horse and cart. But you want to get to whatever you're manifesting, right? You want to open the doors to whatever you're manifesting. But there's some blockages. What are those blockages? Like, what's stopping you from going forward? And I mean, he has an axe in his hand, you know. I'm not sure what she's going to do or how much help she's going to be, but she's sort of following behind. He's got the axe in his hand, and he's ready to chop it up. So he's going to work on whatever that is, right? What is ever blocking him? I don't know. It's going to take him a while to block that, to unlock that. That's for sure. But the keys are for opening. That's how I look at it. So when I see the 4 keys, I'm thinking, what is it that's wanting to be opened, right? So it's a strong signal that it's now time to take a significant action to remove any obstacles. You must be clear-headed, so be sure your actions will calm your forethought. So yeah, so just think about using it. It's not like the guy who's on TikTok who uses the axe. Like, he knows what to do when he has an axe in his hand. This is you with an axe. What do you like with an axe? Like, you have to have concentration when you are, this is what I'm working on. This is the part that I need to heal or let go of. And this is what, instead of me trying to whack all over the place. Because sometimes when you're if anybody's had to cut wood, I mean, when you go down with the axe, sometimes you're like, well, that's not where I was aiming. I was aiming over here, I was aiming over there. So really having that clear thought of what it is that you are wanting to do. And here's another one. And this is what I do. I don't know. Whoops. Huh. Addison. So here it is, number 22. Addis, if I'm pronouncing it right, probably not. But this is about I am. I am. It's about a singular person. I am. So looking at all the ancestors and the people coming in to help that person in what they're doing. And it's number 22 in this. And if you're not sure about if you bought a new deck of cards and you're not sure about it, because this card doesn't really it follows the tarot, but it doesn't follow the tarot. So it's a whole new learning lesson. Look it up. Look it up. Get the book, because I can usually pick up any regular tarot deck and I'm kind of like, okay, I got this. But this is like there's a cat or a candle casts a candle cat. There's no cat. The candle casts a light on an open book held by a young woman sitting at the desk. Her eyes are drawn to the side as if she was distracted from her reading by a curious thought or someone nearby. She is surrounded by several people, many of whom are somewhat translucent and glowing. An angel bends and whispers, Addisum, Addisum, I arrive, I am here, I attend. Addisum is a single word that has many meanings. First, it affirms your own strength and focus. So, firming on your own strength and focus. So, if we go back to the first card, right? First card. So, we're going back to the first card. And so it's like, okay, you have to be focused on what you are doing. Here we go. You got to be focused on what you're doing. This is where take some time to attend to what you need to attend to. This card reminds you to be assured that no matter what's happening in your life, spirit is always there for you. So know that, okay, this is what I need to work on. But I don't have to work on what's ever blocking me by myself, right? I don't have to work on, and this is what this card's saying, I don't have to work on. I can ask spirit. So I'm going to ask my higher self to come in and help me. And that life spirit that you reach out to, sharing their light and their power and serving you in every way. So this could be your grandmother. This could be somebody who's, a divine, it could be an angel. It could be Jesus. It could be Mother Mary. It could be whomever you want to come in and ask you for that guidance, right? So, and that God, as spirit lifts you upon their shoulders, you are present for each other, and together you arrive at your dream. So when you work with the divine and you start to work with others, because the thing is that here he is, he's going to chop the axe, he's going to chop something. But can he do it alone? Can you do whatever is that obstacle by yourself? Or do you need to reach out and ask for help? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter whatever the circumstances it is, whatever that wound is that you're trying to work on. And that you asking or giving it up to the Holy Spirit and asking for some help and asking for that guidance. Because in asking for the guidance, it's going to help you to get through whatever it is that you need to get through. So close your eyes and sense all your spirit guides gathering. Take a deep breath and feel the words, Addisum, I arrive inside you. The divine stands next to you as you arrive at your highest dream. See it now. So you see what it is that you are wanting to obtain. Know that this is my obstacle. And asking the question, why am I so hesitant to work on it? Why am I so hesitant to ask for help? And that could be something else comes up. Another question, something else will come up. And you'll be like, oh, okay, that's it. Then ask again, why? Why? Continue asking until you get sort of the nitty gritty. You might have to do this about 5 times of asking the why question, but that's going to get to you where okay, you know what? I got to surrender this all. I got to surrender it all because I have a goal. And you could say, well, I can't do it because the Baltimore Bridge fell down. I can't do it because this is happening. I can't do it because that's doing. So these are your blockages of why. You could say, well, I'm too old. For me, one of the blockages right now is looking at more ways to make an income. And it's exhausting, but I got to ask, well, why am I so exhausted? Because I'm frustrated. Why am I frustrated? Because it's not moving fast. Why isn't it moving fast? Because maybe I'm not spending enough time on it. Why am I not spending enough time on it? Because I'm procrastinating. What am I procrastinating? Why am I procrastinating? Because I'm afraid of going forward in whatever it is that I want to go forward in. Well, why are you afraid? I don't know. And that's what I got to sit with. Ooh, 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 ooh. See how it works? See how it works so easy. So with that, then you can pull out another card, right? So we're going to pull out another card and it comes in, the Ark of the Covenant. So there's a promise there. There's a promise. The Ark of the Covenant is a promise from God, a promise from the divine. So the Ark of the Covenant comes in. I have a promise for you. And I'm guarding this promise for you. I'm there to be with you. So come and sit with me. Come and sit with me right now. Because you might not be feeling everything that you are feeling. Are you reading me? Yes, Erica, I am reading you. And there it is. The stars are shining on a serene desert night. Fire burns before a number of white tents. Inside one of the tents, just beyond the open flap, rests the Ark of the Covenant. Two men sit by a crackling fire. At the most mundane level, this card can represent beneficial legal contract or a title transfer. It also can show successfully working with professionals such as brokers and lawyers. More often, it indicates that you are living true to your own word, your own karmic. Well, it says karmic contract. Facing your lessons, growth, working towards greater discovery. Your karma does not rule you, you rule it. When the work becomes too great, taking a rest doesn't break with your covenant, it supports it. So, so we got two major arcanas that are coming in saying that, yeah, there's a contract. There's a contract. So the covenant is a contract between you, and I'm going to say you and God, you and your karma, whatever the contract is. And looking at that contract that you have, right? And looking at it and saying, you know what, there's things in here that I don't understand, and I'm trying to break through this. I'm trying to break through this. But I need to sit with this for a minute because I'm not getting it. So continue to work towards your highest purpose. To uphold the sacred covenant, you have to touch the world with your light. The ark, close your eyes and imagine the ark of the covenant opening before you, and within it you see the contract that contains your highest purpose. What is that? What is that purpose? And sense one word and one action you can take towards to pursue it. So sometimes it's just the one thing that you need to take towards whatever it is that's blocking you, because there is a sacredness between you and the divine. But sometimes we get afraid of our highest purpose because we get stuck in the mundane world. We get stuck with how am I supposed to break through this? How am I supposed to chop through this? And they're saying, well, it's just one piece at a time. Maybe your highest purpose is to, I don't know, just to love people, just to be kind, just to understand. Well, it's like, oh, I don't want to understand people because they're so fucking stupid. People are idiots. you know? That's why you got to sit. You do know. Like, I understand when people say, well, I don't know what my purpose is. Really? Well, sit there and take a look at your life. Take a look at the things that you do. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? And take a look at it and sit with it. Sit and ask God. Pray. How many of you pray and actually pray and sit there and say, show me the way, God or goddess or whoever you want to say, show me. Where do I need to go? What do I need to know? And who do I need to talk to? Show me. I'm open. And then allow for that to be shown. Allow that to be open. And that's the hard part. It's like, okay, I asked. They're not showing me fuck all. And it's like, okay, take a moment. Take a moment. And breathe. Put your hands on your heart and just take it's like, where do you want me to go? You may not get anything right away. You may not hear anything right away, and that's okay. That means just take that moment. Take that moment in quiet. Because we all want answers. We want it now. Want it now. But you're chopping with a fucking axe and there's a big log. It's going to take some time. And sometimes it's the answer you don't like. You don't want to take. Like, I would love to be a billionaire. I would. Give me I would love to be a billionaire. I'll take that responsibility. Give me all that and for whatever corporation, company, whatever, and let me have that beautiful house or whatever I'm thinking it would give me that freedom, right? But here it is where within my karmic line with what I have come here to deal with is to deal with, one of my purposes is humility, right? And to be with humility. And Charlene goes, "No, she wouldn't want to be." I would. No, if I had $1 billion. And that's the other part too. Is like sometimes we call ourselves short. And that's the kind of thing like sort of like, when people say, "Well, I just want my needs met." Really? What are your needs? What do you like? Do you like to shop? And your needs, sometimes it's not just having the mundane things, but it's having the freedom to be able to choose what you are wanting and able to do. Just meeting your needs is not allowing for you to be able just to choose to do whatever it is that you solely desire to do, because then you still have limitations, right? So you have the limitations. So you're wanting to go out and say, hypothetically, you want to go out and I want to go out and be able to buy a brand new vehicle whenever I want, just to buy a vehicle because I want a brand new vehicle right now, or I want to be able to help my kids. I want to go out there and I just want to help my kids. I want to be able to give them, a little bit more of whatever it is. Well, if you don't have the extra, you can't do that. If you're just living to meet your needs, you're not going to have the extra. Right? And but the extra I see that's okay. How do I explain this to you, Shar? You just limited yourself. You just limit it. And that's the whole thing, is because society has us limit ourselves. When we step into God and we step into the spirit is unlimited. It's unlimited. It's vastness. But society has us believe, well, don't be greedy. That's greedy. Don't be greedy. Now, if we all decide to say, hey, give me the unlimitedness, give me the vastness, and I'm open to it. Whoa. Whoa. That's kind of scary. We say that we want it. We say that we want it. But it's not being greedy. How is that being greedy? How is it being greedy if I say I want to have $1 billion? How is that being greedy? Think of what you could do with that and think of how you could help others. Like that's how I'm looking at it. It's like, yeah, I'm going to be able to not only help myself but help my family. I can help many other people. I can really be the change I want to be with that. You know, And I know a lot of people say, well, I can still be the change I want to be and I don't need to have the $1 billion. And I'm like, okay, then do it. Then do it. Show me. Do it. Yeah, exactly, Erica. I'm not greedy. I just like it a lot. And that's the whole thing. It's like opening our minds to more than what it is. And that's a hard one for many of us to do. It's cracking us open and saying, let me go into what is that sacred contract? The sacred contract that the divine gave us is that, yeah, we all have our karma, but it doesn't control us. It just shows us what we need to learn and need to do. And I'm looking at that. It's like, do I need to chop it? Or maybe I need to go around it and just walk straight towards whatever it is there. Survey the whole thing, right? And embrace it. Like, when you look at it, and let's say, I know Shar owns a store now. She's working at a store. Wouldn't it be wonderful? Wouldn't it be just think if your store started to do 2 grand a day? What could you do if your store started to bring in 2 grand a day? Whoa. I mean, you just think about like, well, oh my God, I could buy more stock. I could probably do more things in the store. I could maybe, whatever it is. This is what I could do. Oh my goodness, I could start now really paying myself. Is that being greedy though? So now let's go from 2 grand to, let's say my store started doing 5 grand a day. Is that being greedy? And it's like, well, no, I only want my store to earn $100 a day because I don't want to be greedy. And that's it. So that store just makes its needs. Then why? See, okay. So then what happens if your store starts earning 10 grand a day? Think about it. 10 grand a day. How many days are you open? Times that by how many, if you're open 5 days a week, that's 50 grand a week. 50 grand a week times 4 is what? $200,000 a month. $200,000 a month times 12. Wow. Oh my goodness. What am I stepping into? And I know it's work. These are just the possibilities. This is what the energies that are coming in to get us to really look at, to step out of that. Oh, I just want it. I just want this. Okay. What about this? What about a little bit more? What about a little bit more? Is that being greedy? Because then all of a sudden I can say, well, you know what? You wanting 10 grand a day, you're just being too greedy, and your store shouldn't be that 10 grand a day. It should only be $100 a day, because that's it. Because then you're not greedy. Right? Yeah. So what's wrong with having $1 billion then? Because then that's the extra. That's the extra. I just brought you to the extra of the extra. From where you just wanted to have your needs met. So your needs are met. So my needs are met. So I only get 5 grand a month, and that's it. That's my needs. All my needs are met. That's it. So this is what the energy is trying to say. This is what the frequency is trying to get us, is for us to think beyond, to think more of. And when we can do that, and we are in that sacred contract, we're in that sacredness of the divine, and working with the divine, and working with that frequencies, then we are opening ourselves up, because then we are truly following our purpose. And our purpose is here to be loving and happy and creative. That's our purpose, right? That's our purpose. And we're all in this little boat right now, and we're all trying to figure it out. And we're all trying to open it up, and it's like there's a lot of frustrations and overwhelmness, and there's a lot of muggleness that's in it. But the more we step into that sort of frequency, I'm opening my mind to you, divine. I'm opening my mind to you, divine. I'm giving myself up to the Holy Spirit and asking for inner peace and a miracle. Guide me, show me. I'm open to your guidance. Yeah, it's not easy, but it can be easy the more we do it each and every day. So, and it's the frequencies sometimes make us feel frustrated and overwhelmed, because we're in a playground and we're still learning. We're still learning what is, maybe some tilt-a-whirls aren't a good thing to go on, and maybe that metal slide on a hot day, we shouldn't go down on our shorts because it might burn our ass, right? So we're learning all of this, and it's day by day, step by step, and doing that. And it's okay. And it's okay to want a little extra in our life and a little more in our life. It's okay. And embracing that each and every day and stepping towards it. So, you all have a beautiful and wondrous day. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all you say and all you be and all you do. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning this. I'm still chopping the axe, and missing the spot many, many times over. It's all part of growing. All right. Have a great one, everyone. And we will talk to you all tomorrow. Blessed be, everyone. And have a great day.